So I feel like I need to go into this with one disclaimer right off the bat. Don't turn fight MiG-15, MiG-17 and expect to win. Just don't. Just no. That guy made a dumb move. Don't do that stuff. Anyways, you guys asked me to take out the IL-28sh with Gunpods. Well, I got something better for you. These are the S24 rockets. The same things found on the SU-7 video that I did. And they are very, very effective. Set them to 1,000 meters for air burst, and then shooting a head-on anywhere between 1.4 and 1,000 meters based on speed. Now remember, closing speed has a lot to do with it, so it is actually rather hard because of the difference in speeds here at this tier. But that being said, 163s are going to be the bane of your existence. They are designed to shoot you down, and you do not outturn them. And yeah, the tail gunner on this thing works pretty good. Only if you control it. Hans here isn't doing very good. I do not want him on my tail. I want to be able to dodge him. If he so much as hits me, it's going to take off my tail feathers in a heartbeat. So we're going to help Hans out here. See if we can get a couple of hits into this 163 while we're turn fighting. Just a little bit. Just enough to dodge his shots. I don't want to make it easy for him. We're not very maneuverable anyways. But we get a hit into him. Go into the turn. I'm sitting here seeing reduced speed. I don't want to overspeed, but it seems as long as we're turning, I'm not going to. Put another shot in. Looks like, I don't know if he bailed out or if he just gave up. But I ripped my flaps. Yep, go figure. Here we are. Into the turn fight again with an F-80. Now, I will say that this is not necessarily a plane you want to fly solo. If you have a buddy to come help you out, like I do here, I've got Zetsubo. He's helping me out. He is coming up, and he's going to end up cleaning up this guy. But somehow I am able to somewhat turn with this guy. Not saying it's the greatest move, but here we go. And, of course, I'm overleading because I am really bad at tail gunners. But it's fun for a little bit. Zetz comes in and cleans up the kill, and then we have another B-57 coming in. Not too worried about a B-57 to start with, but he ends up being a free kill for Zetz. But this is the kind of fun that you get into with this aircraft now. Like I say, it's hit or miss. If you get an up tier, you're probably not going to survive very long. Aidens are absolutely going to screw you up. So if you get up tiered against a Scimitar or a Hunter or even the F-11, so the F-11 doesn't have Aidens, but the guns on it, what are they? They're basically equivalent to T-160s. They'll screw you up. They're going to one-shot you. So up tiers are not going to be as fun. So generally speaking, in a balanced match like this, you're going to have Canberras, you're going to have Tu-14s, you're going to have Tu-4s on the other team. Easy kills for your rockets, right? So that's what I'm doing. I fire 2 just because sometimes, especially with slow targets, I do get them off just a little bit, so that gets you a little bit extra spread, a little bit more guarantee. And I'm definitely going to blow 2 rockets on a Tu-4, because I know those things are tanky as hell, and I don't want to just take his tail off, and then I'll be the end of it. So we're going to do the same thing, line it up, 2 rockets. He down, 2 kills, just like that. And now it looks like everybody is down and turn fighting on the deck. So this is where it comes kind of fairly easy. So we're just going to work our way down and clean up. And that's pretty much all it is. I've got 2 rockets left. I don't want to give up all my altitude too early, though. But I know these guys see me, so I know at least one of them's probably going to pull straight up on me. And most of them don't understand that this thing has S24 rockets. So it looks like we're going to find our G91. We're going to launch at him. I launched just a little bit early on that one, unfortunately. But we're going to pull away from him. Try and maybe put a couple shots on him. I know these aren't going to hit, but why not? Let's try. And then we're just going to climb a little bit back up. I see in the distance there's a Swift. And that Swift has been side climbing a little bit. I know he's going to come in, so I'm definitely not going to get too engaged with everybody right away. I am, like I say, we're just kind of keeping an eye out, keeping our altitude. These guys aren't going to chase me. And then we're going to do a subtle turn back in. Now keep in mind, this aircraft isn't that fast. It sits around 500 to 600 kilometers an hour average, so a lot of it comes into planning. You definitely just do not want to give up that altitude too early if you don't have to. Against things like Seahawks, F-35 Sabres, stuff like that, you can tank a few 50 cals, you can tank some Hispanos here and there, but like I said, if it's something that has Aidens, you don't ever want to give up or give your tail to those guys, right? So, as expected, the Swift is now turned in. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a head-on with him. Kind of concerned that he might have the fire flashes, but we'll risk it. Fire off the rocket. Yep, we get him. He's crit. It looks like it took off his tail. That's my presumption because he's not turning anymore. And I'm going to expect him to crash here pretty soon. Not too worried about him anymore. More worried about somebody stealing that kill. But we got, what do we got? Another Swift. We got a Seahawk. Seahawk really not too worried about unless I give up my speed. It looks like we've got 2 Seahawks. we're just going to bully those guys. This Swift looks like a 2-on-1 scenario, so I'm not too worried about him either. And it's just clean up. We don't have rockets anymore because, you know, I got a little aggressive blowing them off. We're not going to take that shot because I would have gone straight into the ground. But this guy, you know, that's the funny thing too, is I don't think people expect an IL-28 to be aggressive. You don't see it very often in this game. And that was, he didn't even try to dodge. I'm not exactly sure why. But we got enough speed. We're going to kind of climb just a little bit, do a chandelle, and come back down. Now, just keep in mind, this is a twin-engine aircraft, so despite it being slow, it still has a decent amount of power. It can still climb. So that's why we choose to do this maneuver instead of trying to run, because we know we're not going to outrun these guys. Pop a shot. It was luck if I was going to hit it, and we didn't. Here comes a Seahawk. I think he's just kind of distracted, but we're going to full commit. Looks like he gets an engine. That's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt later, but honestly, this aircraft actually does pretty decent on one engine for what it is. So we will lose this engine, but I'm not going back to land. And we are clear over here. So it looks like there's 2 guys left, one with pretty much 0 points. And we're just going to continue on. And so through the magic of video editing, we fast forwarded about 2 minutes, and we are moving our way towards the Vampire. My engine is about to die, but we're still doing a pretty good clip as long as I don't turn too hard. But the Vampire is pretty much, well, he's stuck turn fighting a couple guys, so he's probably going to prioritize me pretty low because, hey, I'm a bomber, right? And you can see right here, he acted like he was going to turn to the left, and he realized I was pulling him behind him. And now he's got, looks like a MiG-15 behind him, and then I don't think he expects me to turn with him, but that's 5 kills, just like that. And, you know, most of my kills, honestly, in this aircraft, I rely on the S24s. Turn fighting is not necessarily something you want to do in this plane. It's kind of fun, though, if you want to engage the gunner. Just remember, with the gunner, you want to switch to, there's like a setting in there to turn autopilot off in gunner mode. You definitely want to do that. Otherwise, you are pretty much a sitting duck when it's on autopilot. Anybody can shoot you. So if you still want to dodge, you want to turn off that autopilot. So anyways, this guy just runs. I'm never going to catch him. He ends up dying over the airfield for some stupid reason. But that's the end of that game. 5 kills, pretty quick, pretty easy, nothing crazy about it. But in the unfortunate event of a full up tier, which is what this match here is, facing mostly Sabres, mostly 9.0s, and most everything here can easily outperform me. So you have 2 options. You can dive into the deck like I'm doing here, or you can do a 360 over your airfield and wait for your fighters to be the first one spotted. Me, in this map, I chose, well, you see. Missed my first 2 rockets, unfortunately, but there is a Sabre here that is climbing up into the clouds. We're going to try and use that to our advantage because he's not going to really be able to see us too well. So here he comes into the head-on. Wait for the timing. Right around 1.2, we fire it, and boom, he's gone. And now I've got people below me. They're going to start climbing for me. This is good for my team, not good for me, so to speak, because I don't have enough power to really get away from them. Not like the Valtour would. But hopefully with a little luck, our team will come in and clean these guys up now. But unfortunately, I've got an Attendard. There's no way in hell I'm getting away from an Attendard. So we're going to drop our nose a little bit, try and stay in the clouds, trying to somewhat be unspotted, even though I know they're chasing me. There's an A5 or something, maybe it's an FJ4, I don't know, shooting bullets at me. I hear him ricocheting or something off the side. But here comes the Attendard. And so, it's just pure luck half the time if you can get a tail gunner kill on this thing. I'm not the greatest, but here we go. He's coming up close. We're lining up the bullets. Put a couple off. He's really close. Easy. There we go. And we're just going to dive away. And I thought all was good. I thought I was going to be okay in this match. But unfortunately, there was a few more that were chasing me. I'm not fast enough to get away from them. So here it is. Here comes the Sabre. Not looking good. You know he's going to catch me. So my goal, honestly, is just we're going to keep dragging it away from the pack. I want to try and at least make it a one-on-one if I can. Well, unfortunately, this wouldn't be a fail if it wasn't a one-on-one. There's somebody else coming up behind me here pretty soon. But this F-35, you know, if it's just... I can take a few 50 cals. So if he hits me, it's not the end of the world. But here we go. Of course, I popped the flaps a little too early and ripped him. But here we are. So he's going really fast. He's going to overshoot. And... the problem that I have with this plane is I don't know when to switch to tail gunner or not. And then here comes the MiG-17. Yeah, it's not looking good for me already. And this is an unfortunate ending to most up tiers. If you don't get invisible missile... oh shit, that's actually B-57. Well, anyways. Yeah, as you can see, B-57, not too much of a threat. I probably could have had him right here, but of course I'm more concerned with the guys behind me than actually getting that kill. I'd rather stay alive, but... Yeah, now it's a 3-on-1. Here comes the MiG-17 I was looking for. And, yeah, we're pretty much done, guys. Not much we can do. And he finally sets me on fire. I'm just trying my hardest to get the tail gunner, at least for one last kill, but not quite. Because that's the other thing with this tail gunner. It only has like a 45 degree, maybe a 60 degree each direction that you can actually see. And there's so much button mashing going on, trying to switch between cameras and all that, that I just don't do it very well. It's too much for me, and I cannot get him. And so, in the making of this, there is plenty of fails, and I'm going to go ahead and just rattle through them here at the end. Don't expect this to be necessarily fun, but if you take out the S24s, it can be, but they have to kind of be dumb in the first place, and that's them taking you head on. So, anyways, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just throw everything in here at the end. Let you guys enjoy the footage, some of the fails, some of the wins, you know, this and that, just stuff that didn't make it. We'll call it the B-roll. Anyways, guys, thanks again for all the support. We're about to hit 16K. Freaking awesome. You guys rock. We'll see you again next time. Later.
Cover me! Наш